Hey, this is Lenay with Transform Your Life. And if you really want to learn how to level up your life, you should be listening to the Time to Shine Today podcast with my friend Scott Ferguson.
Time to Shine Today, Varsity Squad at Scott Ferguson, and welcome to episode 110. I have my good friend Lenay Taylor from Transform Your Life. She's a cancer survivor, domestic abuse survivor, and she is taking what she has went through and her experiences and now helping others level up their life. So if you're going through kind of a hard time, whether facing health challenges or even domestic challenges, please reach out to Lenay. I can put you in touch. She's going to drop some serious, solid, awesome knowledge nuggets, reminding you to really never give up and set goals to help you accomplish something bigger than yourself. So without further ado, here's my really good friend, Lenay Taylor from Transform Your Life. Hey, time to shine today, Varsity Squad. It is Scott Ferguson, and I got me a friend from up in the Midwest. Everybody that knows that I'm from the state of Michigan. The Mitten is it's called, and people think it's cold there, but I'm pretty sure where my next guest is, it gets a little bit colder, and she's from the great state of Minnesota. Her name is Lenay Taylor, and she has transformed your life. She has a heck of a story that we're going to dig into. Lenay is a cancer survivor and domestic abuse survivor, which I'm really sorry to hear about that. She has 3 sons and a stepson. She's emerged from her darkness and now fulfills her life by helping others. She empowers people to take control of their lives through food, pain control, gratitude, and passion. And she has some serious credentials backing her up. So I cannot wait. So without further ado, here is Lenay Taylor. Lenay, please come on and introduce yourself to the Time to Shine Today squad. But first, what is your favorite color and why?
Favorite color is lavender.
Lavender.
Yes.
Sounds royal.
Because it relaxes me.
I love that. I love it.
Brings calmness to me.
Love it. Love it. So give us looks like you went through some pain. And here at Time to Shine Today, we're always talking about we don't want anyone to feel like they have no one. So I think that for some of my listeners out there, what you have to offer, it would be great for them. But give us the origins of maybe the pain that you went through and then kind of like, hey, lack of a better term, a comeback story.
Right. So, married together anyway, for 32 years with an abusive husband. Maybe not quite so much on the physical side, although there was some physical abuse as well, but it was mostly mental and emotional, verbal abuse, always putting me down, he always came first. So it got to the point where I literally felt like I was nothing and like I was going to fade away into nothingness.
Sure.
If I didn't take some action and do something.
Wow. So what action did you take?
I made arrangements to go to a women's shelter.
Oh, good for you.
And I spent 3 months in a women's shelter trying to get things back together and try to figure out who exactly I was, because I didn't even have a personality left at that time.
They just stripped you down. That person stripped you down and made you feel like you're worthless and not even breathing air. You were doing a disservice. That's terrible. And I'm so sorry to hear that. And then, what I actually worked for a service as a volunteer in Detroit area for a battered women's shelters where I would actually pick them up and put them in a van with no windows and stuff and take them to houses to where they were safe. It was kind of like a covert operation a little bit, but I'm sure you kind of went through that. What was their kind of first step, if you don't mind sharing with that, to help you overcome?
Mainly it was just the actual physicalness of getting out of the house.
Sure.
Once I was in the shelter, that was pretty much left to my own resources.
Right. So, okay. So what got you, let's take it forward then to transform your life. And what was the origins of starting that?
Well, it's been a mission of mine all my life. My degree is in social work, and so I've always aimed for helping other people. And I guess it's just kind of come full circle where I
Okay.
had somebody say to me, well, why don't you share that story with other people and help some other people along the way? So,
Yes, yes, because people need to hear that story because you're an overcomer, you're an achiever. You failed forward, if you will, and
right.
still kept progressing. So, what do you? So, are you? Tell me a little bit about Transform Your Life. What do you guys do there?
So it's an online coaching program. It's 8 weeks long, and we go through some. We start with the simple stuff. I think food is something simple, a simple area where people can start to take minimal control of themselves. And once they start getting that confidence behind them,
Mhm.
it allows them to open up and start addressing some other areas in their life as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So if I'm out, let's wait a minute, hold on, let's take it back. So you go with food, and then what else do you go? What would be the
That,
next step then? So you're
and
you're
then we
kind of
go into
physical,
pain,
right?
the
Okay.
physical pain, like chronic pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go through some gratitude things with people
Okay.
um, to kind of turn things around and make it a little bit more positive.
Sure.
And then we start exploring passion.
Ah, gotcha. And then you try to have them kind of. So I like that process because you're really getting their temple, their body right in a
Right.
sense, and then you're getting their pain under control, whether it's
Yep.
emotional or physical, correct?
Yep. Correct.
And then you're going to find their passion. So what are you doing with your clients then to help them find their blind spot, which for them would be their passion? What are you doing to help pull that passion forward to them?
I've got some exercises and some different things that we go through,
Okay.
and we do it in a group, so it's nobody really feels like they're threatened. It's people sharing together,
Okay.
and yeah,
So it's 8 weeks. It's the group is 8 weeks long.
yeah, hmm
Okay. And is it all done virtually or is it done in
yep. It's all
person?
done on Zoom.
Oh, beautiful. And how long have you been doing that, Lenay?
About a year and a half now, specifically on this group.
Okay. Okay. Do you ever find yourself being uh, like not confident, or maybe some of your past demons pop up, or does your hubby now kind of make sure that he levels you up when you start feeling that? Because it's impossible to go back. I mean, I have a story
Yeah.
similar to that. Orphanage, growing up, having nobody, and I get it, but sometimes it really surfaces, and then
Oh, it does,
forgive me.
absolutely.
So how do you overcome that when it kind of rears that ugly head?
I just have to try to remind myself of the things that I'm grateful for.
Yay, there you go. Have the attitude of gratitude, right? So
That's right.
you have like maybe your clients put together like a gratitude journal or do
Yes.
something on the daily
Yes.
basis. That's great. 'Cause that's part of
Yep.
my daily routine that I think that boosts forward to my success. So I'm sure that you remember the movie Back to the Future, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so if you and I were to hop into Marty McFly's DeLorean, right? And you were to go back and see the 23-year-old Lenay, what kind of knowledge nuggets or advice, if you will, would you give her with the knowledge that you have now?
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Love it. And you are worth it too, right? It's like, no matter what anyone ever says about you, still progress, level up, and move forward. I love it. I love it. I love that that was short and to the point as well. That's fantastic. So you started, Transform Your Life. And how long ago have you guys been doing this?
About a year and a half
Year
now.
and a half. Okay, gotcha. And you do it with your hubby, right? What's his name? So I can stop calling him hubby.
His name is Al.
Okay, so you and Al started this company then together, or was it you and then Al, or how did that work?
So Al and I together, we run a company that's more in the digital marketing space,
Okay.
and then I do the coaching part myself.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, gotcha. So if I'm out, like meeting people either virtually or as we get back to where I can press flesh and meet people, networking like I always do, like what kind of keywords or phrases am I listening for from them that would be a great referral or a great connection or great prospect for your company?
Sure, it'd be something like, I'm sick of this. I need
Okay.
something to happen. I need something to change.
Okay. So it's basically they're kind of stuck and don't have the answers
Correct.
to what they're looking for. I gotcha. I can 100% appreciate that. So we talk a lot about our dash here at Time to Shine today. And the dash is that little line that goes between your life date and death date. Okay. So how do you want your dash to be remembered? Maybe your epitaph. Like, how do you want that remembered? When people think of Lenay Taylor, how do you want them to remember you?
I think just as somebody that's always there to help others.
Like total go giver. Gotcha. So what books do you read?
I read a lot of business books, and I read a lot of biographies.
Dead people? I read a lot of dead people. I'll tell you
I see
that.
dead people, yeah.
I do a lot of dead people. I'll tell you what. There's so many knowledge nuggets that you can pick up from dead people. That's
Yes.
for sure. That's for sure. So then let's take out your computer, your cell phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever. What are the 3 things that Lenay cannot live without?
My family,
Love it.
my faith, and the internet.
Hey, we took the computer out.
I know we took the computer out, but you didn't take the internet out.
What do you how about your favorite food? What kind of food? Because those 3 things, I was asked if I was to start a colony on Mars, it would be, my lady Susan, my dog Stitch, and chicken wings from a place called Sparky's. So, what's your favorite food though?
Probably pizza.
Oh yeah, you got a good one there in Minnesota.
Yes, and we make our own as well.
I bet. What is the weather like up there, anyways?
It is raining today.
Yeah. What's
Humid.
the temperature though?
70.
Okay. Well, that's not that bad. It's just rainy.
That's not too bad.
No.
We had a very long winter.
So if you were to lose everything again, what would the first thing that you would do to rebuild? Where's those quick answers, Lenay? Come on now.
I know, right? Look, I've been preparing, but I didn't prepare for that one.
Someone's been listening to my shows. She's ready for them.
Yes. Let's see. I'd have to do some work on me again.
Okay. To start feeding your mind, feeding your that's the thing. Because I've lost everything once, really bad, obviously, in the real estate, because that's my day job as a real estate agent, and lost everything. And that's the first thing that I would probably do is dig back into my go-to books. There's a Christian author named Andy Andrews who wrote a book called The Traveler's Gift. That's my go-to book. It's like I get into that one really deep. Even now, if I'm having like a bad week, I'm like, man, something's just not right. Something's not clicking. I kind of get back from that. And that book's about him kind of going, his daughter's sick. He loses his high-paying job. He wants to commit suicide, and he runs into a tree, and all of a sudden he wakes up, and he's talking like Harry Truman a day before we dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? And so Harry kind of gives him advice about taking responsibility. Then he goes and sees King Solomon for wisdom and Anne Frank for courage. So it's the greatest book ever for me. So I just remember that there's those different people that, like I said, I love to read dead people. They can kind of bring you forward. That's fantastic. So if you're meeting the new people that you want to bring in, you're kind of in the discovery process. Is there any good question that you wish they would ask but never do?
I guess I wish that they would ask if there was somebody that believes in them.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that I get that. I'm like, they need to be raw and honest when I first meet, the people that I bring into Time to Shine Today coaching. And I want them to ask me for my failures, but also, is it okay for me to be blunt with them, to tell them that, 1, I love them, and 2, that they're worth it, and 3, are they going to be ready? Because there's got to be some tough love in there. They've got to dig deep, especially with what you're doing and then what you've been through. So if you weren't doing what you do right now, what would you be doing?
Can't think of anything else.
Good. That's the best answer in the world. I love that. I love that, Lenay. So as we kind of wind, no, hold on a second. Since you listen to my shows, which thank you very much, what is your definition of a life well lived then?
It's somebody that has lived with purpose and passion.
Love it. I'm writing these down. I'm taking some notes from you today. Love it. Love that. Love it. Love it. So last question really kind of is, what is the big BIG thing that you want to accomplish in your life?
So several years ago, I was challenged with that, setting a goal for to help something or to accomplish something that's bigger than yourself. So my goal is that once I reach a certain point, I am going to start a foundation to find a cure for type 1 diabetes.
Yeah, there you go. Love that. And I love that, accomplish something bigger than yourself. That's huge. I mean, it's about you because it's your life, but something that you can accomplish, something that's going to make you legendary or immortal. A lot of people, they ask me, Scott, what do you want? I'm like, I want to be immortal. But the only way I can be immortal is to mentor as many people and help as many people as I can, because they pass that forward and pass it forward, and then it kind of comes back. We'd all like a library named after us, or something like that. But I just want to know that that's why I mentor as much as I can. I encourage people to mentor as much as they can. And then people like you that are out there just so special and critical to helping people level up. So you leave, obviously, I'm not going to say without even trying, because you're trying every day, but it's just like you seem like you just have such a big go-giver spirit that you're going to leave that behind if you just keep going and going and going. So that's awesome, Lenay. Thank you so much for sharing that. So we're going to move into our leveling up lightning round. And you and I could talk 10, 15 minutes on each one of these questions, but we're going to do 5-second answers. First thing that comes to your head, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're texting people, what emoji do you use the most?
Smiley face.
Smiley face. Love it, love it. If you could be one age for the rest of your life, what would it be?
50.
50. Love it, love it. So what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
Never give up.
You said that already. I love it. I love that's what you would have told the 23-year-old Lenay too as well. Awesome.
I live it.
Love that. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Do at least one thing every day on your business.
Love it. Work on the business, not so much in it all the time. Yep. Beautiful. So your favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time and or money to?
Well, that will be the one that I make.
The type 2 diabetes?
Yep, type
Beautiful.
1.
Type 1, sorry. Type 1 diabetes. What's the difference?
Type 1 is the juvenile.
Gotcha. Okay.
So 2 of my sons have type 1 diabetes.
Oh. You know what?
Yeah.
We're going to ask this last, let's before we get to this last question. So how did your family deal when you had to go through what you went through? I'm sorry for not even asking that.
I'm going to say nobody really knew about it.
Really? You hit it that well, huh?
Yes.
Wow. You're amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that stuff. And you know what? One thing about you is that you seem, I don't know you that well yet, but you seem like someone that's very extraordinary with their commitments. Like you're so committed to what you're doing. You're always giving that extra service. So thank you so much for even sharing that. I mean, someone that went through what you went through is just, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, look at you now. Right. You kind of brought it forward. So our last question is, what's the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
70s.
You and I could hang out in either. 70s rock?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That is some awesome music. Because you kind of come out of the hippie phase of the 60s, and then you get some awesome bands on the 70s.
Yep,
it's
absolutely.
Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it. So how can we find you, Lenay?
I'm on Facebook. Facebook is under Lenay Taylor.
Okay.
And then LinkedIn, of course, and Twitter also.
Okay, gotcha. And all of those will be in the show notes below. And Lenny, please leave us with one last knowledge nugget that you would like the Time to Shine Today squad to take with them, internalize, and make happen.
Just know that there's always somebody out there who does believe in you.
That is fantastic. And squad, that is so true. You know, we have people out there that we're blessed, and I'm blessed to have connected with Lenay that actually wants to accomplish something bigger than herself, to just start rocking the type 1 diabetes, to help those juvenile children to fight that just bombastic disease. She's a person that lives with purpose and passion. She lives by almost our credo here at Time to Shine Today, where she doesn't want anyone to feel like they have no one. And what's nice about her, not nice, but what is impressive about her is she's walked this walk. She's been where some of you might be in an abusive relationship. Find your voice, reach out to Time to Shine Today, and we can put you in touch with Lenay. Or get in touch with Lenay. If you're listening to this, look in the website, the show notes, all our information is going to be down there. So we're talking to somebody who went through a very verbal abusive relationship, came out on top, and all she's doing is helping people. That's the epitome of a Time to Shine Today varsity squad member, team member. She levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's so humble yet hungry. And Lenay, thank you so much for coming on today. You're amazing. You're part of our squad now, and we can't wait to keep in connect with you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast, proudly brought to you by Sutter & Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you're a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.